In Germany, where many people live, work, and have trouble dealing with their feelings, one man was searching for tenderness and love. During the search, he was hurt so bad that he decided to never trust anyone again. Monarch was born in 1939. He is of the generation that was born during the war and went to school after the defeat. After the small-minded grimness of the Nazis, the Americans arrived with ice cream, chewing gum, rock and roll, nylon, Coca-Cola, and the one-armed bandit. More and more people worked at machines and factories. So Monarch said to himself, "If I have to work at a machine, then at least one which I can play." That was the slot machine. At a time where most of his peers already had proper jobs, Monarch decided to become friends with the one-armed bandit. Yeah, you gotta ask me something. What he loved about this invention was its reliability, the painlessness with which the machine collected and paid out money. Before this, I worked at Karstadt in the grocery section as a salesman. And in my free time, I often went to the pub to play skat. And one day, we were waiting on the third player. I walked up to one of those slot machines and noticed that it has a kind of rhythm and moves evenly. And because I always liked to play, I then went from pub to pub and said to myself, I can earn money a lot easier and faster this way than spending all day selling herrings or saying, "Would you like anything else?" He watched out for light and shadows, tried to learn the habits of the breaks, and to recognize the rhythm of the motives. Lemon, plum, cherry, bell. And so I always went back to the slot machines because I heard that this guy can win or this guy could win. Only I was walking around. And was only busy searching for machines so that the others could play and earn money. And so I told myself, I'll put in everything I got and invest all my money. And so, for days and weeks, I did nothing but sit in front of the slot machines and watch them closely. It left me restless. And every evening, after everyone else went home, I went back to those slot machines and really tried to get something out of them, and it didn't work at all. Yeah, and then one day on the... it was just before Christmas in '77. I was doing the rounds again with another player, and I was watching him play, and I suddenly had that spark, and said to myself, "Leo, this time you'll get it." One day, the machine said to him, "Thank you for paying attention to me. Now it is my turn to pay you. That is all I can do." They already knew me as a player. I was always never really a good player. I usually always came in last place, and now, with the mint, it was something completely different. And, well, he first heard it from my spies, who saw me play. They look for machines for me and see me play, and they said, Monarch is crazy good. He'll soon be better than you playing the slots. Nobody would like hearing that, especially him. He immediately changed color and got red like a crab. And because he obviously thought about if there's another player in the area, it would become even more difficult for the rest. And, well... yeah, anyways, my goal now is to work hard. And to earn so much money that I'm well off. Once the mint time is over, I also want to stop playing. At that point, I want to have so many reserves that I can get a financially secure life. Using that money. To reach his goal, paradise, Monarch has to work his way through a mountain of German pastime. So, you don't work at all? Oh, sure. Yeah, here at the machine. Yeah, that's hard work. Yeah, exactly. Concentration first and foremost, right? Nah, and a good set of eyes. Maybe good eyes, but I don't need to concentrate. I look and push the button. You definitely need good glasses. What's up? You gotta watch this guy so he doesn't... He just got another 20 series. Nah, nope, that's not true. I'm gonna pull the plug on that thing. You better stop with this shit, you hear me? Every time he empties this thing out, I'm gonna fucking lose it. You're making me nervous over here. What has that to do with anything? You gotta be a cheater. Huh? Every time you come in here and clean out the machine, other people play and they get nothing. I also usually don't win. Yeah, sure. How about you throw another round? Yeah, have one on me. And I'll have another beer, you heard that? No, I didn't. You gotta say that yourself. I'll play until it spits out screws. He said if you empty it out, you have to put something back in. Give this man 20 slices of bread with ground pork. If you empty out this machine, they'll turn you into minced meat. Why is that? Now you're completely off. What is that? Well, you can't hit all of them. Sometimes it stops well, and sometimes it doesn't. Those two stopped early. But I don't know in advance what it'll do. It's electronically controlled, so you never know. Let's split it 50-50, I'll give you 3 marks. Why? You didn't even put anything in. Yeah, because you take it all out. Well, I can't. You probably get 20,000 out of this quickly. 1 month. Can people from Saxony also play this thing? Yeah, sure. Yeah? With money from East Germany? I don't know. And now this guy's putting money in. Come on, I bought you a beer and you don't even want to help me. If someone sees it and you're cheating, don't you have to give the money back? I'm not cheating. Or am I cheating? How would I know? Can I do something if they catch you? Anyone can watch. Watch this guy. He just got another 20 series. I'm gonna pull the plug on that thing. Do you have anybody that you work with? Like someone who gets the money? Yeah, I've done so. The money's counted with a machine. Your eyes are getting worse because of the alcohol. Well, a professional soccer player also has a bad day every now and then. Didn't train enough today, huh? I haven't had all today. Another beer from the cheater. Look, there's another 20 series. You gotta be kidding me. You're bankrupting me. Let the man be. I'm not Rockefeller, you gotta stop with this shit. I gotta work hard for it, and he just plays slots in the evening. If I could play like him, I'd clean out all the slot machines. Yeah, who wouldn't? I'm doing it. You got a 7, watch out. See, the old bums have to rob banks and all that. And waste money. I think I'll take out a loan tomorrow and stop working and just come here. Yeah, pay close attention so you can get even more cash out of it, you suckers.
Hätte mal du eine Eislocker, haben sich da meine Gelder rein, ich steckte mal bei China und die ist der Tuna kommt und die macht ja meine Gelder alle weggemacht, die Tuna.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Monarch. I was given this name by my competition. Competition, not fellow players, because we're always competing. Because we always try to outdo each other. And Monarch became my name because about 10 years ago I played the Monarch slot relatively well. Today I play this slot, that's the Mint Super, and its predecessor, the normal Mint. It is so easy to play because you only have to get the main motives, that means 3 sevens or 3 bells. And if I get 3 sevens, I get 100 extra spins. And every win is increased to 3 marks. And during the 100 extra spins, I can get about 180 to 200 marks out of the machine. What is very important is that I first determine how full the machine is. I do that by putting in a 2-mark coin and listen how it falls down. If it falls deep, I know there's not much to get here. Then I try to just get the 50 extra spins and then stop. When I hear that it drops high or even into a separate container, then I naturally try to get everything out of it. Generally, I try to get the 5 and 2-mark coins out of the machine. I leave the 1-mark coins because it's too loud when they drop and it's too much effort. The 5-mark coins go really quick and then they're out. While I'm playing, I have to pay attention to how the other guests and their owners behave. Because I'm usually an outsider and come in for the first time, and if I'm cleaning this thing out, the owner's going to become suspicious and the regulars as well. They're going to be unhappy because they put 20, 30 bucks into the machine every day and they get nothing. And then some stranger comes in and cleans it out. And so that I pay attention to through the reflection in the slot machine. With one eye I'm looking at the wheels, and with the other one I look into the reflection to watch the reaction of the guests and the owner. To avoid wasting too much time, I have hired employees, called vultures. They are deployed in the morning, dropped off in some city, and they go searching for me. That means they open the door of a pub and check if there's a mint slot. If so, they note it down and move on to the next pub. And so they go through 20, 30 or 40 pubs per day and gambling halls. And in the evening or the next day I meet them and we go through the machines together. Another thing that's crucial are the brakes. They are differently constructed. That means in terms of the electronics or the brake system. There are some that brake exactly, some on 4 and 6, and some don't brake at all. But I notice that when I use the button, and if I notice that the machine isn't braking at all, which can be the case often, then I know this one's a fighter. I'd have to spend 3 to 4 hours to clear it out. That's just too much time for me. That's just not profitable. Generally, I spend an hour on the machine, then it's cleaned out. That means the 5 and 2-mark coins are out, and it starts spitting out 1-mark coins. And that's the end. The end. On the journey through Germany, Monarch has his helpers. Björn is his spy in Hamburg. Show me your thumb again. You have calluses on your thumbs. Yeah, that's to be expected. On the other hand, it's a good thing. When I started playing, every evening my thumb was hurting. Then I had to play with my right, and with my right hand I'm not as fast. So I just had to bite my tongue, and especially for the main motives, I had to use my left thumb. You're always at those machines like a maniac. The wall is shaking and the slots falling off the wall. Yeah, when you press too lightly, you'll miss the main motives. I'm happy that it's not like that. We're now going into the Winsner Road, and while I'm going to play, you'll search. But not just quickly look in, really go in and look left and right and then leave. I always do that. Yeah, well, the spy in Cologne only looked through the window and then said there's nothing.
Ja, ja, Werner, alles gut, Werner. Du hast gewonnen.
I grew up in the children's home, and through the contact
Durch den Kontakt und durch
and through my time at the children's home, I started to play.
bin ich einfach auch zum Spielen gekommen. Ich habe
We sat down and played 3 stones in a row when it rained outside.
Regenwetter, wir haben
We played checkers and Chinese checkers, and I really hated losing, even back then. And I tried everything at my disposal to win, and I always managed to pull it off.
irgendwie gelungen. Nicht? Und
Then there was stamp collecting, and other hobbies came up, and I always tried to outdo the others. And pretty successfully, I have to say.
erfolgreich.
Then my mom said, you'll either become a representative or a gambler. Both things didn't really appeal to me.
Sympathisch. Ne? Und
Then later, when I got older, she couldn't believe herself that I always won.
immer gewonnen hat.
And then we played a card game, and you had to play certain cards, and if you couldn't, you'd have to pull a card.
Konnte, musste man nehmen. Und ich
And I just kept pulling cards, and they just saw that I had my hands full. But it allowed me to prevent them from playing their cards. And I systematically played some cards and held others so they couldn't play.
und hältst wieder eine, damit der nächste nicht weiterlegen kann.
And once I had the full picture, I played all my cards and won.
Sieger.
It was already like that back then. Have I talked about the time when it became popular to play the mint? Have I told that story? Obviously, every new slot is tested by players if it can even be exploited. And this one guy, a professional in Cologne, figured it out immediately. He saw immediately that he could play those slots because it always stops evenly. Obviously, he had to brag to someone and have him cheer him on.
Ist ja klar, prahlen, braucht immer einen Jubler.
And so he called him. He was a cinema operator at the time. He told him, I'm playing the mint. And the cinema operator said, I can't imagine that. He'd already invested so much money into it, and he couldn't see the appeal. He insisted and told him to come over to the gambling hall and he'd show him. At that time, the supporting film was playing. And so he thought, I got 15 minutes, just take a look, and if it's true, then you can give it a shot yourself in the evening. So he left to check it out while the supporting film was showing. He was so excited watching him just lining up the wins, he completely forgot about the movie. And the woman at the cinema, the owner, sat there and he just didn't come back. And so ultimately she had to send the people at the cinema home. He just didn't come back. Björn, Monarch's vulture, has always been interested in making money with little effort. Monarch knows how. Björn wants to buy his secret. Well, after some time and we got acquainted and drove around a lot and I found a bunch of slot machines for him, he said, okay, the mint will only last for another 2.5 years. He said it wouldn't be too tragic, and if I taught you and you wouldn't teach anyone else, you'd be stupid to do so anyways. And so, if I won't teach anyone else, he wouldn't mind if there'd be another one in the area playing. And for the few slot machines that he tried to play but have been cleared out by me in those 2.5 years, he'd won 20,000 bucks to make up for that. 20,000 mark are obviously a lot of money for me, because I have nothing. I have maybe 2,000 mark. So I thought, how can I get that money? It's only spitting out marks. What is that? Don't you have 5 mark coins? When I have to watch this all day, it's awful. It's sometimes like I even feel sick. And I can't even concentrate on other things.
Ich mich so auf andere Sachen gar nicht mehr richtig konzentrieren kann, ne? Ich hab immer
The mint is always on my mind.
Mint dran, ne? Immer. Und
I've already made exact plans how I'm going to do it when I have the money and I can do this.
das Geld zusammenkriegen, das kann, ne?
A VW bus with a bed in the back to keep the costs low. And then no days off, only working. Until this time is over and I can't do this anymore. Because I won't get such a chance anymore. I won't get anything better than this. Except for illegal stuff. But legal stuff, there's nothing better. I think it's the same for every player once he is obsessed and has the urge to play. He needs the excitement, he needs this atmosphere. Then he'll invest his bottom dollar. Whether you play board games or go to the casino, there's this inner appeal. Just keep betting. It has to hit. It just has to. And in general, it just never does. I've seen it myself at the machines. I have invested and invested. I've probably invested 30,000 mark. This appeal to play that has always drawn me back to the cards or the slot machines. And I never liked playing. I played out of boredom. And because of the appeal. What's the difference between joy and appeal? What? What's the difference? You said you never enjoyed it, but felt an appeal. Yeah, an appeal when it comes to the machine. That the machine is better than the human brain. That appealed to me. And that's why I went back every day and said, that just can't be. This was developed somewhere, but they can't be smarter than me. And that appealed to me, and not the money. And also as a pastime. Others read, listen to good music, or go to the cinema. And I went back to slot machines. That machine can only really be played by people that really know it, who are professionals. Anyone else should really just stay away from it. They don't win. Sure, they might get a streak every now and then, but that is so rare. There's an entire industry that lives off of this, and everyone wants their share, especially the slot machine companies, and the pub owners want to cover their expenses. And they're obviously angry when someone comes in and takes all the money out. These machines are skill-based. And if I'm good at it, which is to my advantage, then I play the machine and I'm happy that I'm good at it. But they'd be more happy if people just kept putting money in for hours and keep losing to make them rich. These devices are accepted by an institute as skill-based. Then they're put up on a wall, and now people come that are good at it and can play it, and they get a house ban. And what is even worse, once the machines have been tested and put up, they don't get inspected anymore. They can't get inspected again. And then the owners do whatever they want. I've played machines that were tampered with, so you could never get a streak. You could put money in those machines for a year or 100 years, and you wouldn't get a streak. And that's just dirty tricks, and then in the grand scheme of things, disgusting and bullshit.
Und Anschiss.
I just don't understand why you hang around with him. Usually you don't really go into pubs. Well, there's multiple reasons for it. One is the money.
Gründe davon ist das Geld, ne?
You get quite a bit, right? Not that much, but more than doing most other jobs.
Wenn ich irgendeinen anderen Knackjob machen würde, ne?
I get 100 a day in food and drink paid. And often I have to do nothing other than sit around and talk to him, or drive him around when he had too much to drink.
Sonst was, ne? Und
The other reason is that I'm interested in people that do strange things. And what he's doing is plenty strange. He has his fixed routes.
Und
And basically, it's just money for being there because he doesn't like working alone. He likes having someone around to talk to. Oftentimes, he'll be in a lousy pub with like 60 Turks hanging around, where he's not comfortable or afraid when there's bad vibes, when the people get jealous, when he wins so much, or the pub owners get angry. He likes to have someone around for that. He also likes recognition from others. He really seems to like it when people watch him play and see that he's the best at it. He really likes it when people tell him that. Like when I say, "Great, another streak," and pat him on the shoulder and all that. He seems to need that confirmation that he's extraordinary, which he kinda is. He needs that, and that's probably one of the reasons he pays me.
einer der Gründe, weshalb mich bezahlt, ne?
You have some issues with your vultures currently, right? Yeah, they're getting lazy. They're not doing enough. They'd prefer it if I just came by in the morning and just gave them the money they get.
Was sie bekommen,
Put it next to their bed and tell them to sleep in, and I'll just go on my own. They'd like that the most. They're too spoiled. That has to change. They have to put in the work, because I have to play. And that this isn't a cakewalk, I notice myself. I'm spent in the evening as well when I clear out 8 or 5 machines.
5 Gurken gefegt habe.
Then I'm done as well, and I don't want to do that anymore. So I just need someone who's diligent and reliable, and he'll earn decent money. Because I can't keep doing it like this.
Sage von der Lorelei. Die Stimme der Bergfrau, den Grotten und wundersamen Formen, mit den jäh aufragenden Kulissen in der unheimlichen Stromschlucht, mit den Untiefen und gewaltsamen Strudeln, erregte die Fantasie der Literaten aller Zeiten. Anno 1502 zitierte der lateinisch-deutsche Dichter, der sich Celtus nannte, in seinen Liebeselegien: Kommst du nun auf die Ecken vom sagenumwogenen Fels, wild von Sünden durchtobt und von der reißenden Flut, siehe, da hallt die Stimme zurück von den Felswänden. Waldgeister wohnen darin, die uns die Sage erzählt.
Meinen Kummer, meinen Schmerz, dann ist das Leben ein Scherz. Meinen Kummer, meinen Schmerz, dann ist das Leben ein Scherz. Vom Blumenblau ist der Himmel am herrlichen Weine. Vom Blumenblau sind die Augen der Frauen beim Weinen. Darum trinkt ein Wein, Mädel, sei schlau. Dann seid am Ende auch ihr vom Blumenblau.
It's a pretty nice area, so we can relax a bit from all the gambling. which is also important.
was natürlich ganz wichtig ist.
Otherwise the mint period is over and you're over too. We don't want that. But what could be done is systematically build up a route here.
Systematisch aufbauen hier. Und
With a good vulture who plans ahead and searches the area regularly town by town,
und regelmäßig durchsucht, Kaff für Kaff, wird
and pub by pub, you could build up a nice route here.
gute Tour aufbauen. Und
You could probably do that until Basel, a tour on both sides of the Rhine River.
rechts und linksrheinisch.
That would be a nice thing. Now with the winter festivals around the Rhine, you could play freely.
Nein, nicht, da kann man frei.
That'd actually be pretty fun.
Das ist richtig Spaß zu spielen.
The pub owners have other things to do than watch the slot machines.
Mal anzuachten.
Currently, I have a lot of money and a lot of friends, but real friends, not really, no, with whom I could talk about any problems that are on my mind. I'm basically always lonely, actually lonely, and that's not really ideal. Sure, when I'm in a pub playing, I immediately talk to the other people, basically because they're amazed by it, and they are obviously blown away when I get one streak after another. But real friends I have none. Generally, people say they think I deserve it, but they just say that so that they can get money from me. That's why they say I deserve it. On the other hand, they're also often jealous, because they always want to be able to do that. Everyone who sees it wants that. How do you do that? And, well, no one's able to do it, and they also won't learn it. And I just have to play because I chose it. I could have also just started selling books or start a career. Or I just play slots exclusively and I chose slots because
Habe mich einfach für die Automaten entschieden,
there's the most money to be earned.
das meiste Geld zu verdienen ist.
And without too much effort or
Anstrengen und ohne,
having to be too engaged.
nicht, aber
But that is also not satisfying. I have long realized that. But you can't go back. No, because of the fact that I've set myself a goal, I have to earn a certain amount after this time is over, so to be financially independent.
dieser Zeit zusammen haben, nicht existenzabhängig zu sein.
I used to read a lot in the past
Aber auch
and listen to good music or go to concerts or the theater. But after playing 6 to 8 hours a day, I'm just exhausted.
so geschlaucht,
That I just have to go to bed so that I can be rested for the next day. And I have to be rested.
muss topfit sein.
And now I'm just saving. And that would get boring at some point was something I already knew.
Das war mir von vornherein klar.
That's just for the evening. We also have that in white. No, that's not it. I think it should be this one. I like that.
Dieser hier.
How much would that be? That depends on the fabric. It'll be around 1,100 mark. Maybe a bit more depending on the fabric. What if we use this one? Well, I can look. Let's take measure first. Take off the jacket, please. Now, about the foot width. That can probably be a bit tighter. And here probably as well. Yeah, otherwise I wouldn't need the tailor and I could just buy it from a store.
So, das war 61. Ja, das ist zu viel.
Yeah, I'm not hitting anything anymore. But I still need one big win, so that I earned the tie for the West. But there's no way around it. Oh, I can't put those coins in. Not like that, not like that. How much did that cost? How much it cost? Just the suit alone today, 1,350 mark. I won't make that much today. Yeah, if I'd stopped now, in the past, when I still lived normally, I'd stop playing at 4 or 5.
Wohnte und lebte, habe ich 5 aufgehört zu spielen.
Nowadays I have to keep playing just to cover the costs and make a profit.
Und dann einfach noch genügend Gewinn hier einzuspielen.
Just a car alone. Not even talking about buying it.
Anschaffen wollen wir gleich reden.
Transmission 1,300 mark, inspection 1,200 mark. And then, once you earn that much money, you want to dress the part.
Da willst du auch dementsprechend rumlaufen. Ich muss erst
I gotta check what this thing is doing. It's no use. I'm not complaining. You're constantly on the move and the hotel costs, it's all expensive. Don't you have money in the bank? Yeah, sure, but I don't do that out of principle. Going to the bank and asking for money?
dass ich zur Bank gehe und sage, ich brauche Geld.
No, they even told me, if we're ever doing bad, we'll ask you for money.
Wenn es mal nicht so gut geht, dann pumpen wir sie an.
And so I don't want it to be the other way around. How do you like the fabric? It's very nice, thank you. With the pattern, it's sometimes hard to imagine what it'll look like. Or if it's something that you don't like. But I think you made a good choice. Well, it's not supposed to be too flashy. It should look respectable, unlike my work. Your job is not respectable? Yeah. But surely only your friends say that. Everyone says that.
Die Arbeit kennen, ja.
Well, I'm happy if I can earn the money in Berlin to pay for the suit.
Bescheiden. Oh, pardon. Sehr schön.
It's following the newest fashion a bit more.
Etwas langgezogen ungefähr. Und nicht gar.
And not too tight. And some space for a wallet or a purse. Do people wear it like this nowadays? I don't know that. Yeah, then you look like a boxer, which is a bit lowbrow.
Niveaulos.
It's also not in fashion anymore. The pocket's a bit deeper, and here on the inside, one for change or a handkerchief, comb, pen or a wallet, and down here for business cards, so that everything's there. If you have any wishes regarding the pockets, buttons or inner lining, well, specifically the pockets have to be robust, because I always carry a lot of coins. They'll tear quickly. I don't intend to go working in this suit, but it might happen. Can't do without working. Thank God, even a tailor has to work, and I hope you do too. So, what do you do? I'm a mint salesman. What? Mint salesman. I don't know what that is. Coins. I deal with money. Money salesman. And you're often in Berlin? Yeah, when I'm needed, and a specific market needs me to live carefree.
sorgenfrei leben zu können.
Every 6 weeks I'm in Berlin for 4 weeks.
4 Wochen lang.
Coins. Doesn't tell you anything, right? I get that. I used to not get it either.
Aber
If someone, for example, plants oats, what does he reap? Grain, right? And I plant pennies, and what do I reap? Mark? Yeah, exactly. 5 Mark coins.
Ja.
I've gone out to play with women, kind young ladies. But obviously, when I sit there for 2 hours wrangling a slot machine, one even started drawing me while I was playing, out of boredom. That picture is still hanging in my bedroom. The mint. I hear the mint. Just like a man is enthralled by a woman, I'm enthralled by the mint. It blinks through the glass, and like a young lady smiles at me, I smile at the mint. And, well, so I have to go to the mint. Others say they have to go to their woman. I have to go to the mint. It brings me money. A woman may be happiness or trouble, but the mint always joy and money. What is this? Now I know where I am. I'm going the exact opposite again.
genau entgegengesetzt. Genau entgegengesetzt.
I have to go that way. Can't stop here, can't stop there. And it's always like that. I already passed one and I'm not going back for it.
Nicht wieder um.
That would have been a good one.
Oh, nee. Ich habe den Parkplatz ist wirklich grauenhaft.
I have to get back to the main street.
Hauptstraße kommen.
Now I'm completely lost. The best would be to just leave the car and take a cab there. Here I'd at least get a parking spot. Further up I can't get one. We'll see. I'll just keep driving and eventually I'll end up on the main street.
Straße kommen an so eine Hauptkreuzung.
Don't you have a city map? Nah, I'm too lazy for that. There's enough mint around here.
Ich meine, gibt ja genügend Mint, wo ich dann
When I see a popular corner, I just stop and get out.
und gehe dann steige ich dann aus.
There's plenty of mint in every part of the city.
Genug.
So you just pass them by chance? By chance? By now I know where most of them are, because of the vultures.
Durch die Geier.
The Ulster River. What am I doing here? Ulster round trip. Monarch Ulster round trip, instead of working.
Anstatt zu arbeiten.
Well, he's already doing well. Why would he need work? He doesn't need it anymore. The important thing is that the vultures get paid. I have to go the exact opposite. I have to turn around. I can't keep going this way. I can't turn around here again. Could have at least gone to the right, you genius. Do you think you'll find your way? Sure, I just have to ask someone.
Wieder.
There, motorists.
Hier, Autofahrer.
Hello, Hamburg Road, where is that?
Straße, wo ist die?
Yeah, it's a mall, right?
Einkaufszentrum, ne?
Thanks. That was pretty helpful.
Sie ist so höflich.
Now take a right or straight ahead. Yeah, I think I'll get the 20k together now. I've talked about it with my former boss. He says if he's convinced that this works, when he sees Monarch getting 2-3 streaks in a row and it works out, he'll let me borrow 20k and I'll have to pay him back 25 in 3 months. We'll meet in 2 days and I'm pretty positive that it'll work. Then it's a done deal and I'll zoom through Germany. And if it doesn't work again, I'm done. I'll scram off to Morocco. Because it's just too much. It makes you very nervous, chasing after the money. And then it doesn't work, and if it doesn't work, I'm done here. Well, there's not much to talk about. I'll just show you and you can see for yourself. I hope it's actually like that. And if this could be a basis, then it would be for you. This one stops fine and the other one doesn't. Yeah, that would be perfect. I haven't seen anything better. I'm hitting absolutely nothing. I might just hit that.
Bin, nämlich genau. Ach, freudig. Das ist offen, ja. Da hält er nicht an.
Yeah, way too early, way too early. Well, that's just great. You brought me good luck.
Wir haben mir Glück gebracht. Mit ihrem Fünfer. Ja.
I line them up again and again, and then it's cleaned out. Let us talk about how we'll actually do this.
Ich meine, wie das technisch funktioniert jetzt.
We'll go to the bank with him and... Well, sure, you could just say that I can't give you the money in advance. It'll be deposited and it'll be put in a frozen account that we can only operate jointly. That was my idea, because you could also rip me off and claim you didn't learn it. Or that you can't do it and take the 20,000 back and then start cleaning out the machines. And so for safety, the money is deposited and only released once you learned it. That'll only take 1 day. And if you say nobody can do that, I'll take a random man off the street and he can clean them out just as well. I'll show him and he'll line up the streaks. But what if I'm actually too stupid? Nah, that's not a thing. It's idiot-proof. Then nobody can get the money anymore? No, it'll be frozen for 3 years and then your boss gets it back. Well, from what I gather, do you want to put the money in a frozen account?
Man soll 20.000 Mark auf ein Sperrkonto legen. Ja?
And for 3 years, neither one of you can get to it? What about me? I can get the money back even after 3 years. No, after 3 years you can access it. We'll do this tomorrow. I'll go show him in the morning and at noon we'll go to the bank and I'll get the money. But who will give me the insurance? You get that from Björn. So it's ultimately a question of trust. Well, I would have been willing to give you the money, but it's up to you how you handle this. And my advice for you is you should probably leave it for now. Well, it's about him, not about me. I can take care of myself. Yeah, definitely. I gotta arrange for a refill. Well, it always seemed a bit too good to be true.
Zu gut, um wahr zu werden, ne?
Damn. A vulture shat on my window. What a mess, and it just had to be my nice car.
Schöne York.
Only the fire department brings good luck. Not just safety, but also luck.
Ist wieder was dazugekommen.
A tabloid wrote that there's someone in the country that can manipulate these machines.
Ach, jetzt haben wir vergessen, den Sack aufzuhalten.
Hier, halt dir schnell, der blaue Sack, da liegt da. Wieder. Ey, sind ja noch 14 Stück.
I even got a screw. I'm starting to believe he's cheating. Well, we wished him good luck since he bought a run of drinks. That can't be normal. I gotta work 13 months for that. I can't believe it. Here, 110 days and I never get that much money. Fellas, the guy next to me with the good luck offered to pay for another round.
Er hat sich gewogen gefühlt, eine Runde zu schmeißen. Kräftig ist dreifach gut. Wer? Gut. Wer? Gut. Wer?
I have never won more than a mark. When I first figured out how to do it, I was happy about every streak. But now I take it just as serious as anyone else working their job.
Wie jeder, der seinem Beruf nachgeht. Nicht? Und
Everyone's happy when they receive their pay, but the work itself is still tough.
die Arbeit ist natürlich sauer, dass hier
If you get yelled at here and there, and then you're just supposed to perform well, which will make you angry. And generally, I'm also angry about my work. But who's angry about the money that they get? The worst innkeepers, I have to say, yes, thank you. Tasted perfect.
Danke, ausgezeichnet geschmeckt und dabei
Even though it tasted horrible.
Grauen gekriegt. Nee, und
Sometimes I go to an inn in the morning and have a hard time keeping the food down. But I have to play, I need to make money. How did it taste? Perfect, thank you.
Zeichen, danke.
And I just go to the slot machine and get a streak.
Ja,
There's no other way.
anders geht es gar nicht. Es
It's terrible. You get home, your clothes smell, everything smells, you have to take a shower.
duschen
And you always have to listen to their drivel, even though I just want to play.
mit und dabei will ich ja spielen.
And the people start babbling. I'm really sick of that, and I have to say I'm happy once the mint period is over.
Zeit vorbei ist.
It's getting to your stomach, right? Yeah, obviously, because of the lifestyle.
Durch die unseligen Lebenswandel, das
The cold beer, coffee, soda, water, constantly just drinking. And I have to just take it. In every pub, I just have to endure everything so I can play.
Bieten lassen, spielen zu können.
The innkeeper serves me a stale beer, or half a glass of foam, or a foul pickled egg,
Oder ein faules Sohlei.
and I have to just eat it to not stand out, because I want to clean out the slot machine, so I always have to endure it and shut up. Because I want to clear out the slot machine in peace and not stand out.
Einfach das Maul halten, weil ich in Ruhe die Gurke fegen will und nicht auffallen will. Nicht? Und
And that's gonna be the same for everyone working that constantly gets hassled. He'll get home and beat his wife. He gets mistreated by his boss or higher-ups,
der in der führenden
and he has to take it out somewhere.
Direktion attraktiert Und irgendwo muss er sich Luft verschaffen.
And he'll do that at home or in the pub, venting about his coworkers.
Ja, immer nicht, was wir für Bombenkerle sind im Betrieb.
And down a couple beers. And I just have to vent when I go somewhere and there's no mint slot.
Dann nur aus, wenn ich dann irgendwo hingehe, wo kein Mint steht.
And I think that's normal, and every doctor would recommend that. You'll make that pretty quick today, right? You pay?
Manuela, si yo siento melancolizona, Manuela, cosa notela, y siento y mi cano cantante la canción mate, Manuela. Oh, Manuela, yo siento escacheta seria, descantini de jona, Manuela, oh, Manuela, Deutschland geht ja nicht siento Manuela.
I'll drive away now to Morocco. What are you gonna do there? Take a vacation first, relax after all the hecticness, and then I'll look for something to earn money with. Because I can't live off of my savings forever. I'd like to stay there for a while if I like it there. What are you going to do for work? Something with tourism probably. Guide or at a hotel. There's plenty of jobs in tourism if you know a language. Or maybe sell off some clothes. My entire car is full of them. Kinda crazy. I got a rubber dinghy today for like 6 or 8 people.
Letzten Tag ein großes Schlauchboot für 8 Personen oder so, oder 6.
Well, have a good one.
Ich wünsche euch was Schönes.
Alright then, goodbye.
Tschüss.
Have a good one, guys. I'll write you.
Und werde die Grüße ausrichten an die Meris Sisters. Tschüss. Tschüss, ja.
Die Zusatzzahl lautet 45. Und hier noch einmal das Ergebnis. 13, 18, 19, 28, 32, 46 und die Zusatzzahl 45. Und nun geben wir Ihnen noch die Gewinnzahlen der letzten Wochenziehung und der heutigen Schlussziehung, der Glücksspirale 78 bekannt. 150.000 Mark entfielen auf die Endziffern 4, 1, 2, 3, 8, 5 und 1.500.000.
Nowadays, I'm at a point where I ask myself, what is more important, the money or having a bond? I essentially have nothing. I'm a stranger everywhere. Currently, I'm just focused on the money, and I can't really afford making acquaintances. If I see anyone, or a woman, then it's a waste of time for me. If I spend an entire evening or day with them, I lose a lot of money.
Für mich einfach Verlust, wenn ich mich mit denen den ganzen Abend rumtreibe oder den ganzen Tag rumtreibe, dann verliere ich sehr viel Geld. Und wenn es nur
Even if it's only 1,000 mark per day, that's a lot. If I do that 5 times, I lose 5,000 mark, and no woman is worth that much. So the money is more important for you. Sure, it's very important. I don't know what'll come after the mint period. Luck with the games, but none with love. That's nonsense. First off, I don't play with luck. I play with skill.
sondern ich spiele aufgrund meines Könnens.
That's why I win. If I want to find love, I can't play, and instead go looking for women.
Dann engagiere ich mich bei irgendwelchen Damen.
Then I can't play. But both doesn't work. I don't really want that. I want to play now and earn money.
Spielen und Geld verdienen.
And later on get lucky with love? Well, not really. I don't want to get lucky. What does that even mean?
Was heißt das denn?
At that age, you don't marry out of love. Instead, you follow your intellect
Man lässt sich da von seinem Verstand leiten.
and decide that is a fitting woman or partner.
Frau, eine geeignete Partnerin. Aber sonst nicht.
And what does luck with the slots mean? They say luck is with the diligent. Dostoevsky said that, and I was diligent for 10 years. And I continuously invested time and studied it, and it ended up working.
Nun hat's ihm geklappt.
I can play in my sleep now.
Im Schlaf.
I could do it blind and get the streaks lined up, and the money flows.
Angucken, da hast du schon die Motive und das Geld kommt.
Luck in love. Just hearing that.
Und Wurst, alles Paletti. Alles Paletti. Hey, Wurst. Ja, und jetzt Wurst, das bringt man mir noch einen Plan. Und
That's enough, no. Well, I got to finish that streak. After that, you leave. Pay your tab and leave. What? I still have that streak. Finish that game and then leave. On what grounds? Yeah, come on. Get a couple of streaks in an evening and only have one drink. Alright, that's enough. Now pay your tab. That's enough. And don't come again, I've had enough. I'll leave today. I've had it up to here. Wolfsburg, Braunschweig. It's scary how many devices are taken down. I specifically went to Braunschweig yesterday. Wienerwald, gone. Different slot machine. Zum Schlesen, different device. The one in Salzgitter was good. Let's go by there. Had a plate put in. A breaker. No point in playing. Takeaway place. Order a huge steak. Walk up to the slot machine. Doesn't work. Had enough at that point, so I go back to Wolfsburg. And the only thing I did here is make back the expenses for the last days. So there's not much to earn here. New slot machines everywhere. On the weekends I don't even come here anymore, as everything's closed. It's like a ghost town here. You can see the mint from the outside, but you can't play it. When I came here for the first time, there were, just in this area alone, the pedestrian area and a 500-meter radius had 8 or 9 slot machines. Now there's only 3. It's not worth it if you consider gas and hotel costs. You can still earn something, but not enough to be content. He was standing there and played slots. And it was constantly ringing, so I said, that's not okay. He was winning 3 or 4 streaks in a row. And so he didn't come in for a week. Then he came back and asked if he could play, and I said, not here. It's my money, right? And that was that. So we got to know each other. Not sure if I should say that, but I got a cut of his winnings. Of the money he got out, I'd get a share and I'd allow him to play. Until they took away the slot machine, and so he'll probably not come again. As far as I know, they've taken them down in most places. It's getting harder for him. On the other hand, a job like that, who has that? Earning that much money? I have to say though, it was an awesome time. Did you ever want to know how he did it? Yeah, but he never revealed it. I asked him how it works. Following the reels with your eyes isn't really possible. So he must have had some technique, I think. He said he could teach me. Well, you know him. I'm not sure if he was joking or what he was going to teach me. Wolfsbüttel is also over. No point in coming here anymore. That's the fourth one that's been emptied out. Put 2 mark in, put my ear to it, empty. Think, what is that? Well, sure, someone might have gotten a streak and taken out the 2 mark coins. I put a 5 mark coin in, same thing, empty. I pushed a button, couldn't even get my 2 mark coin back. It just spat out 1 mark coins. The fourth one, that makes me nervous. I even asked the others, where were you? Wolfsburg. Wolfsbüttel was never mentioned. I haven't been there in 2 months, why not come by, I thought. I was at the Mercedes dealership recently and they said I need new tires. New tires. Just the thought of that. It'll be 1,000 mark. I thought I could earn this here. So much for that. I'll just pass right through here in the future. There's no point. I'll just go straight to Hamburg now. Hamburg, obviously, this won't happen. No matter how much competition is there, there's plenty of slot machines. They can't clean all of them out. That's just not possible. And I already booked a hotel here. I have to cancel that now. I'm just piling up expenses and haven't earned a single mark. I wear the overalls because I also play in the morning, or at noon, and at every time of day. And it's unusual for someone to enter a pub in the morning in a suit and tie. But in overalls, I just say I'm on breakfast break. Oh, and now I have 50 free spins. I'll be late for work and my boss will be angry. The innkeepers ask me, what do you do? And I'll say, I'm a metal worker. And that works because they have nothing against metal workers, but they'd have something against someone who cleans the machines out in a suit and tie. Now we'll go to my favorite slot machine. That one's a real gem. Playing that one brings real joy. It drops the streaks almost on its own. It's almost dizzying. Absolutely amazing. I have cleaned it out often, and the innkeeper isn't all that friendly, but I like playing it. Huh? What is that? That can't be. The Supermint. He actually threw it out. That's impossible. It was still valid for a whole year. That can't be. That's really something. The machine earns 65%. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you can put in whatever you want and get nothing.
Kommt nichts raus, weißt du? Kommt nichts raus. Ja, ich soll das sagen. Ja, ja.
It's the biggest scam.
Nur. Für das Geld kriege ich lieber eine Mollast, kann ich da hinstecken. Das kannst du glauben, doch.
You can believe that. Before I put a single penny in there, I'd rather listen to music. I at least get something out of that, unlike here. Am I not correct?
kannst mit mir hat eine Molle. Noch keine Molle lauert, weil er keine Molle mehr hat. So sieht das hier aus dem aus. Ja, so sieht das aus.
Hier, viele tanzen mit dir, los! Ja, einmal, ja, man muss noch Pizza!
The mint time was a good time, and I had a lot of fun. And I could do whatever I wanted. Most people want that. I could go wherever I wanted, sleep wherever I wanted. I could play wherever I wanted, and I earned as much money as I wanted. That was nice. On the other hand, it wasn't fulfilling work. In the beginning it was nice. I could buy whatever I wanted, and I just had to grab the money from my pockets. No matter if it cost 1,000 or 30 bucks. Didn't matter, the money was there. Now, the thing is, I have no goal. I don't even know why I'm doing this. Nothing. The money goes onto my bank account, and that's it. I'm not even interested in it. You get tired. Tired of playing. If I earn 100, 500 or 1,000 today, I don't care anymore. And that makes me apprehensive, because there won't be a time like this ever again. Technically, I should get back to punching in the streaks.